In 2025, the city of Los Angeles counted 43,699 people experiencing homelessness, while Los Angeles County recorded 72,308, showing how massive this crisis has become in one of America's most famous places. For thousands living outside, life is not about chasing dreams, but about surviving on sidewalks, in tents, under freeway overpasses, and across areas like Skid Row. Even though officials reported that unsheltered homelessness in the city fell 7.9% in 2025, the streets are still filled with people forced to endure heat, stress, exhaustion, and uncertainty every single day. On U.S. Homeless Stories, we uncover these painful realities to show what homelessness in Los Angeles really looks like beyond the glamour and headlines. If this story matters to you, please like, comment, and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories for more real stories about homelessness in America. What do you think is the hardest part of surviving homeless in Los Angeles? What the numbers are saying about homelessness in Los Angeles. The data tells a story that's both alarming and urgent, highlighting how Los Angeles grapples with one of the nation's largest populations experiencing homelessness. According to recent reports, the 2025 count showed a 3.4% drop in the city of Los Angeles and a 4% decline countywide, a small but meaningful shift amid national trends where homelessness rose by 18% in 2024. Yet, with over 75,000 individuals estimated to be without stable housing in previous years, the scale remains vast, disproportionately affecting communities of color. Black and Latinx residents make up a significant portion, around 60% combined. These figures aren't just cold stats. They represent families and individuals facing daily hardships in a city where the median home price hovers around $1 million, making stability feel out of reach for many. Diving deeper, the trends reveal a slow but steady progress in some areas, with California's overall unsheltered population dropping by about 9% in 2025, bucking broader patterns. In Los Angeles County, efforts have led to more people accessing interim housing, but the numbers underscore persistent gaps, especially among youth under 25, who account for roughly 10% of the total. What do these shifts mean for everyday lives? They point to incremental wins, like increased shelter beds totaling over 20,000 across the region. Yet the overall picture evokes empathy for those still navigating uncertainty. As we reflect on these realities, it's clear that numbers alone can't capture the emotional toll, but they do urge us to listen closer to the human element. Shifting our focus from broad statistics to specific neighborhoods brings us to the heart of where these challenges manifest most visibly. Have you ever wondered how such a vibrant city can have pockets that feel worlds apart from its fame? From my perspective, these figures remind us that every small decrease in homelessness is a victory for human connection. It's a call to value empathy in our communities, fostering bonds that can turn data into real change. Skid Row and the Forgotten Streets. In the core of downtown Los Angeles, Skid Row stands as a stark symbol of urban contrasts, where compact blocks cradle lives of quiet endurance against daunting realities. This historic 50-block zone, rooted in transient labor history, now pulses with concentrated hardship. A 2025 RAND study uncovers a jarring truth. In Skid Row's key tracts, 1,480 unsheltered people were counted by researchers, but LOS's official tally captured only 61%, a 39% underestimation that leaves hundreds invisible, amplifying the daily isolation of crowded tents, the relentless exposure to urban clamor, and the emotional drain of sustaining dignity on unforgiving pavement. Extending outward, the streets in Venice Beach and Hollywood echo this sorrow, blending allure with unseen pains. Venice's surveyed areas held 449 unsheltered per RAND, with counts at 76% accuracy, a gap underscoring how boardwalks turn into makeshift homes, marked by the ache of ocean winds without shelter, the subtle loss of privacy amid passersby. Hollywood revealed 556 in the study, undercounted by 19%, transforming famed sidewalks into arenas of quiet resilience against nightly chills and faded aspirations carried in tattered belongings. Citywide, this could mean up to 7,900 overlooked souls, evoking deep compassion for the strength needed to persist, the silent burdens of constant movement, the heartfelt yearning for respite in a fast-paced world. These insights touch our shared vulnerabilities, a soft reminder that life's sudden shifts could land any of us in these shadows, inspiring collective care. How could seeing these areas differently spark local support? U.S. Homeless Stories brings these hidden worlds to light, fostering emotional ties. If this moves your heart, liking and subscribing to U.S. Homeless Stories helps share more. Stay engaged with us to deepen your grasp of these American tales, where understanding blooms step by step. Drugs and lives stuck on the streets of Los Angeles. In the shadowed corners of Los Angeles, where city lights fade into quiet despair, substance use weaves tightly with street life, trapping countless individuals in cycles that slowly drain hope and daily strength. The link runs deep, with reports showing that dependency plays a central role in prolonged homelessness, affecting around 30% of adults without shelter in California, according to the 2025 California statewide study. Even more striking, in LA County, the rate of substance-related struggles among those on the streets stands 46 times higher than in the general population, a gap that widened in recent years per UCSF research, a number that reveals how the instability of sidewalk living intensifies every challenge. For many, these substances become a fleeting escape from the bone-deep exhaustion of endless days without shelter, the constant hunt for a dry corner to rest, the gnawing hunger, the heavy loneliness in a city that never slows down. Fentanyl's presence has reshaped daily realities since around 2016, involved in a majority of urgent health situations on the streets, as tracked in statewide data. What begins as a way to numb the ache often deepens the trap, leaving people caught between survival and the quiet pull of dependency, with no stable ground to rebuild. These stories tug at the heart, showing the raw humanity in silent battles, the subtle tremble in moments of need, the faded dreams buried under layers of hardship. It's a tender reminder that such paths often start with life's fragile turns, and any of us could stumble into similar waters, calling for shared gentleness. What one understanding might change how we see those around us. Through U.S. Homeless Stories, these truths build deeper connections. If the emotion here touches you, liking and subscribing to U.S. Homeless Stories helps keep these voices alive. Stay with us to feel more layers of these American realities, where empathy grows with every shared moment. Causes. Why things slide to this point. In the everyday rhythm of Los Angeles, where ambition meets unforgiving costs, the roots of homelessness dig deep into lives that once felt secure, unraveling them thread by thread. Economic forces hit hardest, with rents climbing to an average of $2,800 monthly in 2025, as tracked by the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, LAHSA, leaving families stretched thin and vulnerable to sudden evictions. The shock comes in the numbers. Over 10,000 eviction filings flooded LA County courts that year alone, according to the Eviction Lab at Princeton University, each one a quiet heartbreak that sends hundreds onto the streets, where the weight of uncertainty presses down relentlessly. For someone who's juggled bills and jobs, that slip means nights without walls, the ache of cold concrete seeping into bones, and the constant hum of worry about tomorrow's meal or a safe spot to rest. It's a raw, exhausting reality that strips away the simple comforts we all crave. Social threads tangle in, like family strains or health setbacks that erode what little buffer exists. In 2025, tech and entertainment layoffs claimed 20,000 jobs across California, per the Employment Development Department, turning steady earners into seekers of any scrap of stability. The emotional toll runs deep, the loneliness of separation from loved ones, the quiet despair of rebuilding from nothing, all while navigating a city that moves on without pause. External shocks amplify this. Wildfires ravaged 150,000 acres in Southern California that year, as reported by CAL FIRE, displacing communities and layering loss upon loss. These stories in U.S. Homeless Stories tug at the heart, showing how one twist of fate, a medical expense or job cut, can echo in anyone's life, a gentle reminder that our own paths aren't immune to such turns. This shared vulnerability calls us to a deeper empathy, recognizing that supporting those on the edge strengthens the fabric we all rely on. What everyday step might prevent a neighbor's slide? If these heartfelt glimpses stir something in you, then liking this video on U.S. homeless stories and subscribing keeps you connected to these essential tales. It's a small way to honor the humanity in them. Stay with us to feel the full weight of these American realities, as each layer reveals more about our common ground. Security, sanitation, and urban order under strain. In the lively tapestry of Los Angeles, where neighborhoods blend dreams and daily routines, the realities of homelessness weave strains that touch the core of community life, fostering a shared sense of vulnerability among all who call the city home. Security challenges emerge gently but persistently as unsheltered populations, numbering over 47,450 in LA County, according to LAHSA's 2025 count, navigate spaces where personal belongings become precious and hard to safeguard. The figures strike a chord. Reports from the Los Angeles Police Department in 2025 noted a 12% uptick in property-related incidents in downtown areas with dense encampments, not as accusations, but as reflections of the quiet desperation where items like backpacks or blankets holding a person's world slip away in moments of distraction. For those on the streets, it's the constant vigilance that drains the soul, the subtle fear of loss that turns rest into restlessness, the emotional weight of rebuilding from scraps time and again, echoing the profound ache of instability in a place meant for opportunity. Sanitation issues layer on heartache, with overflowing waste transforming sidewalks into overlooked burdens. In Skid Row alone, city sanitation teams cleared over 1,200 tons of debris in 2025, per the Department of Public Works annual summary, where accumulations create lingering odors that permeate the air, and a stark reminder of limited access to proper disposal. The human side pierces through, individuals enduring the indignity of living amid such conditions, the quiet humiliation of navigating streets heavy with smells that cling to clothes and skin, amplifying the exhaustion of having no private refuge to escape it all. Urban order feels this pull too, as public spaces adapt, with the mayor's office allocating $200 million that year for maintenance and outreach, highlighting how these strains ripple outward, affecting the flow of daily life for residents and visitors alike. These truths evoke a deep empathy, showing the interconnected fragility, a soft realization that life's unexpected shifts could place any of us in similar circumstances, urging a collective gentleness. In acknowledging these, we feel a tug towards shared responsibility, knowing that small acts of understanding can ease the load for everyone. How might noticing and supporting local cleanups in your area foster more harmony? As U.S. Homeless Stories delves into these layers, it connects us to the raw emotions at play. If this heartfelt portrayal resonates with you, liking and subscribing to U.S. Homeless Stories is a warm way to join the conversation. Stay immersed with us to embrace the fuller picture of these American experiences, where every detail deepens our bond. Helping hands in the big city. In the expansive sprawl of Los Angeles, where the weight of loneliness can settle heavily on those without shelter, glimmers of human connection emerge through the tireless work of organizations that extend quiet lifelines, rekindling a sense of worth in lives worn thin by hardship. The Union Rescue Mission, a steadfast presence in downtown, distributed over 3,000 meals daily throughout 2025, as detailed in their yearly overview, delivering more than just nutrition. Each serving carries the warmth of acknowledgement, a brief respite from the cold indifference of urban isolation. For an individual who spent endless hours exposed to the elements, that shared meal becomes a profound anchor, soothing the deep-seated ache of being unseen, the emotional fatigue that builds from days where survival eclipses everything else, leaving hearts yearning for the simplest human touch. Further out, LAHSA's Inside Safe program successfully guided more than 2,500 people into interim accommodations that same year, according to their operational metrics, with outreach workers offering patient guidance and essential tools to navigate the path toward firmer footing. In vibrant spots like Hollywood, United Way chapters provided upwards of 10,000 personal care packages in 2025, records indicate, tackling the subtle yet stinging challenges of upholding personal hygiene amid constant movement and grime. The soul stirs at these moments. The quiet joy of fresh attire after layers of dirt have become second skin. The gentle uplift from a stranger's empathy that counters the profound weariness of severed routines and distant family bonds. These efforts peel back the layers of disconnection, revealing the raw vulnerability beneath, the longing for normalcy, the subtle grief over lost milestones, all woven into the fabric of daily endurance. Such stories echo a universal truth, reminding us of life's delicate balance, and how a sudden shift could draw any of us into relying on these compassionate networks, a soft encouragement to nurture similar support in our own lives. What one act of kindness could you extend to someone nearby today? Through U.S. homeless stories, these accounts of aid resonate deeply, awakening a shared sense of goodwill that binds us. If the emotion in these narratives pulls at your heartstrings, a like and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories would be a meaningful way to remain part of this unfolding dialogue. Journey on with us to absorb more of these authentic American tales, where each revelation strengthens our collective empathy. Proposed solutions and directions. In the resilient spirit of Los Angeles, where the weight of homelessness presses on so many hearts, forward-thinking solutions emerge as lifelines, blending urgent aid with enduring paths that honor the deep yearning for stability and belonging. Short-term measures focus on shelter expansion, with LASA's 2025 strategy aiming to introduce 6,000 additional beds by 2027, a move that offers immediate refuge from the unrelenting exposure that saps strength and hope. The scale astonishes. For individuals who've endured the chill of open nights and the gnawing anxiety of vulnerability, stepping into that sheltered space brings a profound wave of relief, quieting the inner turmoil and allowing a fragile sense of security to take root amid the chaos. Longer horizons prioritize building affordable homes, channeling the remaining $800 million from Proposition HHH in 2025 toward 25,000 new units each year, as detailed in city financial overviews, directly confronting the crushing barrier of unaffordable living that has left thousands adrift. These efforts stir a quiet stirring in the soul, the gradual easing of the bone-deep fatigue from constant displacement, the subtle restoration of dignity through a door of one's own, countering the heartache of endless uncertainty. Drawing inspiration from models like Houston's, which achieved a 65% drop in homelessness over a decade, according to HUD's 2025 assessments. Integrated systems streamline connections to tailored support, transforming overwhelming isolation into manageable steps forward. The breadth overwhelms. Over 72,000 in LA County seek this shift, per the latest tallies. But these directions kindle a tender optimism, softening the profound sorrow of prolonged rootlessness with glimmers of renewal. These proposals resonate with our shared humanity, a gentle echo that life's unforeseen dips could lead any of us to need such bridges, calling us to nurture collective paths that uplift everyone. It's a heartfelt nudge toward unity, where contributing to these changes fortifies the bonds we all cherish. What one approachable solution might you explore in your own surroundings, to echo this progress. Through U.S. homeless stories, these visions of change touch the essence of compassion, inviting reflection on our interconnected journeys. If the emotional depth of these ideas moves you, liking and subscribing to U.S. homeless stories is a sincere way to stay woven into these narratives. Remain with us as we unfold more, feeling the authentic heartbeat of America's urban experiences in every layer. Conclusion. As we draw this heartfelt exploration of homelessness in Los Angeles to a close, the mosaic of stories we've uncovered, marked by quiet endurance and flickers of hope, lingers in the mind, reminding us of the profound human threads running through a city of contrasts. LOS's 2025 count brings the reality into sharp focus, with 72,195 individuals across LA County grappling with these hardships. A staggering figure that captures the essence of lives touched by the silent burdens of unsheltered nights, the deep fatigue from days spent in constant motion, and the subtle yearning for a place where safety and peace can finally settle. These aren't just statistics. They evoke the raw sting of rain-soaked evenings without cover, the quiet frustration of piecing together meals from sparse resources, and the emotional pull of longing for connection in a bustling world that often overlooks. These lived experiences stir a deep well of compassion, highlighting the vulnerabilities that bind us all, where a single twist of fate, like a lost job or unforeseen expense, could draw anyone into this shared current. Still, amid the root challenges of soaring costs and fragile support systems, the urban pressures on shared spaces, and the warm outreaches that extend a hand, a gentle optimism emerges. Through innovative paths like housing expansions and community collaborations, there's real potential to weave renewal into these narratives, easing the heartache and fostering paths to dignity. This reflection deepens our sense of kinship, a soft whisper that embracing these truths encourages us to build more inclusive worlds, where empathy turns into everyday actions that uplift and protect. It's a call from the heart to recognize our interconnected fates, nurturing bonds that ensure no one faces the storm in isolation. What one insight from this journey might guide a compassionate step in your own life? In wrapping up with U.S. homeless stories, we extend our sincere thanks to you, our viewers, for investing your time and staying with us until the end. Your engagement truly helps illuminate these important voices. And in a moment of quiet reflection, may those navigating the streets of LA find pathways to warmth, stability, and renewed beginnings, surrounded by the gentle support of community. If this tapestry of emotions has resonated deeply within you, liking and subscribing to U.S. Homeless Stories is a meaningful way to continue sharing in these vital conversations.